Once the work breakdown has been completed and the work packages have been further decomposed to activity level, we can determine the relationships between these activities. While the WBS gave a logical relationship between the activities, we want to know now the chronological relationship. Better said, we want to know what activities have to be completed before we can start with the follow-up activity. That relationship is referred to as precedence relationship and will be used to create the precedence diagram. The creation of the precedence diagram shows us in which chronological order the activities from start to finish have to be completed. We start first by determining the precedence information between the activities, and when that is completed, we can draw the precedence diagram. Different scheduling techniques have been developed, but they can be divided into two separate families. The first family are the activity on the Arro diagramming method with the Arro diagramming method. In the AOA, ADM activities are represented by arrows linking a start and a finish event or milestone. The technique is very interesting and was used in many applications. Unfortunately, it has been replaced by other methods which are more intuitive. Today, most of the diagrams use an activity on the node method, like the Precedence Diagramming Method or PDM. Here the activities are represented by nodes, and the arrows between them only represent the relationship between the activities or nodes. Today, the PDM in combination with the critical path method is the mostly used method, but you can still encounter network diagrams using the AOA ADM method. In the remainder of this course, we will concentrate on the AON PDM method, since it is also the preferred method of the PMI. In the table at the left side, you see the activities A to H with their precedence information and estimated duration. We will use the duration later, but it will already be added to the precedence diagram we will draw based on this information. Let us have a look at the table and start with the activities A and B. There is no predecessor given, and this means that they do not have any preceding activities. It also means that both activities can begin when the project starts. There are no other activities that first have to be completed. When we look further in the table, we also find two special activities, G and H, because they do not have any successors, and it means that when both of these activities are completed, the project is finished. We also have the remaining activities, C, D, and E, that have both successors and predecessors. Basically, it is important to identify the activities without predecessors because we will start the precedence diagram from here. Now I put the precedence information at the left-hand side of the slide and kept only the relevant precedence information. We already know that activities A and B can start immediately. We first draw A and we add its duration 2. Then we add B with the duration 4. We draw the arrow from A to C, expressing the precedence information that C has A as predecessors, and we do the same with D. We draw activity E with a duration of 5 and predecessor B, and we do the same for F. Now we have to place G with the predecessors C and D. We see that arrows lead from both C and D to G. We have the same with activity H, which has two predecessors E and F. Finally, we find the precedence diagram with the two starting activities A and B and the two end activities G and H. You have noticed the hanging activities at the beginning, A and B, and at the end, G and H. This was something that did not happen when you created a diagram using the Arro diagramming method, since event nodes were used. An event node is, for example, the moment when an activity starts or ends. In the AOA diagramming methods, both activities A and B would initiate from a unique start node, typically called 0. Resulting from the good old days of PERT and ADM precedence methods, some people add an activity of duration 0 at the start and at the end of the diagram. However, activities with duration 0 do not exist. They are milestones, and when entering into a modern project management software, these are immediately transformed into milestones. In the case you are not comfortable with the hanging activities, you can always add a milestone named start at the beginning and a milestone called end at the end of the project. And finally, we have the completed network diagram. And we are ready for the next step where we will calculate the start and finish times of all activities, critical path, and more. But that will be part of the next video. You are doing a great job, keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.